500, the greatest race in the world. Won't be old people till the race is done.
The singing Hoosiers of IU are telling you what it's all about. The Indy 500 is to this city what the Kentucky Derby is to Churchill Downs. It's an event that overwhelms everything else. It was originally conceived by an auto agency owner named Carl Fisher. He saw the grueling 500-mile race as a means to promote the automobile, a way for Midwest auto dealers to show off the durability of their cars. Ray Haroon, an engineer at a local auto company, won the inaugural race in 1911 in this car built by his company. He did it in 6 hours and 42 minutes. He averaged all of 74 miles an hour. Since 1911, the 500 has been run annually on Memorial Day weekend. That was except for the war years. The excitement always begins in early May, where the drivers arrive for the first time at Gasoline Alley. It's the stable of thoroughbred cars. It continues through mid-May, the qualification races, when nearly 300,000 people turn out to watch and be a part of the events. Today, 74 years after that first race, all the qualifying times are over 200 miles an hour. Joining us now is Wayne Pancho Carter. He won the pole position for Sunday's race by averaging 212.583 miles an hour. In his qualifying race, that's a new Indy record. And we're having some mic problems here. You want me to use this one? And we'll do that one. And with that, I say good morning, Pancho. Welcome.
Thank you, Bryant.
What are your responsibilities as the pole sitter?
Well, mainly just to bring the pack down to a nice, clean, safe start. And as far as I'm concerned, maybe lead the first lap.
I understand your hand mic is not working, so we'll nuke that one. Has the speed that the cars are now capable of going diminished the importance of the pole sitter?
No, I don't believe it has. If anything, the pole sitter is probably just as important as it has been any other year, and the fact that you still have to bring the cars down at a very safe speed, but you still don't want to bring them down too slow. Everybody gets out of shape when they do try to accelerate.
I noticed you qualified at, as I just said, at 212. Is there a point, and are you approaching a point at which the speed will be such that you really shouldn't proceed beyond it for safety reasons?
Well, we haven't reached that point yet. The cars are so good that when you reach the speeds we've reached, 212 miles an hour, it's fairly easy, maybe not for everybody, but fairly easy for my fellow race drivers, myself, to run at those kind of speeds, because the technology has made the cars so comfortable to drive at that speed that you really aren't quite aware of the difference between 212 and 202 like we ran basically last year.
You may not be aware of it, most of us might, but let's talk of the gentleman to the left of you. He is the Grand Marshal of the Indy 500 for now the second time. Third time? My God, how'd you angle a third opportunity? Jim Garner.
Wasn't easy.
No, seriously, how'd you do it?
I didn't do it. Well, I've kind of been a friend of racing for many, many years, and I don't know, the Oldsmobile people asked me to drive their pace car this year, and I drove for Buick in 75 and Oldsmobile in 77, and then this year for Oldsmobile again.
You said you're a fan of racing. Why? What do you like about it?
Oh, I don't know. I've always been interested in cars since I was a boy and learned how to drive, and I never really got involved in it until I did a film years ago called Grand Prix, and I spent an awful lot of time in a lot of different kinds of cars and got very involved, and I've owned cars since then and driven some.
You ever had a yearning to try this one?
No, this is one, it's just so far above my capabilities and the things I've ever driven that it's just, you know, I have no desire to do it because I know I don't have any capability for it.
Talk to me about the capabilities, both of you. There are people who think that this is just a ride in the park, that you just get in the automobile and it takes you around 200 times. It's an athletic experience. Why?
Well, I think it's the fact that you're confined inside the car for over 3 hours. You don't have to be a track star or a football player or anything, but you have to still be in good physical shape because of the fact that you do have to physically exert yourself for that length of time. And there's a lot of difference in the kind of stamina you need to have. You need to have good upper body strength. But the main thing is you need to concentrate fully for that full length of time. I think that's the one thing that is more demanding than anything else, because there's no way you can go out and practice to concentrate. You're either able to concentrate or you're not, and you just can't sit down and say, okay, I'm going to practice on concentrating today. That's just not possible.
Jim, you're a former football player, you're a golfer now. How does it compare, driving?
Well, gosh, I don't think there's really in comparison there, because you're not putting your life in jeopardy in either one of the other sports. Here you are. As Pancho said, you know, concentration is the main thing. To maintain your concentration for over 3 hours, you're not allowed to blink, really, is extremely difficult.
Is fear a part of the equation? You had a bad crack up in Phoenix. There were a lot of people who said you wouldn't drive again. Is that a part of the equation come race day?
No, I don't really think so. I think if you're afraid to drive the car, you probably shouldn't be there anyway. You always know that there's a chance to be involved in an accident, so there's always that little element of fear. But I think if you sit and think about it a lot or dwell on that aspect of it, you're not going to be doing the job at hand, which is driving the race car at its maximum capability. So I don't really feel it enters into it very much.
Who wins Indy if not the guy in the fastest car?
The guy that leads the 200th lap.
That's the easy way. Come Saturday night, is it going to be early to bed and then Sunday morning with a little case of nerves?
Not usually. I don't usually get too nervous before a race. It's just like going to work for most people. For me, going to drive a race car is going to work. So it'll be early to bed and get up early. Maybe not quite as early as this morning to come be with you this morning, but we'll get up early and just like I said, it's a day to go to work, a day to concentrate, and a day to get the maximum out of the race car.
Jim, it's not normal for you. You've got the cool exterior. You're famous for it. Will you have a little butterflies come Sunday?
Oh, I always have a few butterflies. I mean, there's a responsibility in that pace car to do it properly because you've got 33 people back there anxious to go to work.
And you're in their way.
I'm up there blocking the freeway. I'm anxious to get off of it.
I figured as much. Let me say thanks and good luck. Jim Garner and Pancho Carter, if you win on Sunday, when you win on Sunday, will you get up again with us and join us Monday?
I'll get up Monday. What time? We're going to have a late show that day?
No, you'll be up about 7:08.
I'll probably still be up then.
Okay, good enough. We'll see you then. Thank you, guys. Good luck. We'll come back in a moment. More from Indianapolis after a break. This is Today on NBC.